I want to talk to you a little bit about the logistics of what you're doing. So you talked about setting up an alternative pantry or temporary pantry. Can you tell me a little bit about that?
Sure. So we wanted to have something available to employees who might not feel comfortable for whatever reason coming into a food pantry, or maybe didn't have the means of doing that. And so we worked with the Mammoth Community Center to have a space available where people could have a self-serve food pantry. And so we got donations to stock it the first time, and we had a very generous donation from somebody named Steve, who brought in boxes and boxes of food that are now there and available for distribution to people.
Wow. And so folks just come into that. And from how far away do they? Is it mostly folks right here? Or
I presume it's probably people that are either living in Mammoth or Gardner. And we've let employees know about it, so there could be other people that if they're that live in Livingston or in Paradise Valley somewhere, they may end up coming in. But we don't really know.
Or what kind of things do people seem to need the most?
Right now, so we started a questionnaire to kind of figure that out and decide where we could really help connect people with what they needed and the resources available. And it sounds like people are really lacking fresh produce and perishable goods at this point. So we're working to try and fill that gap with people.
That's got to be a little more difficult than getting like canned goods, dry goods.
Yes, for sure. And that's sort of the thing that we're struggling with right now is, especially for the employees in the interior, how do we get them perishable goods, because the courier that goes out doesn't have a kind of regulated temperature space. So it's got to be something that can be frozen, or else we need to figure out coolers that will keep it from freezing but keep it the right temperature. And so those are all logistics we're trying to figure out right now.
And you're getting some help from the Gallatin County Food Bank and from Livingston as well?
Yep. And then our local food pantry here in Gardner is also helping folks as well, and is available for anybody to come in and utilize as well.
And do you have any support from park administration? Are they involved or not involved?
So I think the park administration is trying to support everybody as best as they can without getting too deep into the logistics of it. And so there are daily calls and that employees can call in and hear about what's going on. And then they also let people know when there's sort of all employee calls where they have more information to disseminate. So we had one of those yesterday, and they open it up and allow anybody to let others know about resources that are available. So we were able to let people know what's going on.
And do you think people are a little timid about asking for help? I mean, these are people who normally work all the time.
And that's, I don't know that we know that, but I think that's what Katie and I were just trying to fill a void in case there were people that were needing things that they weren't feeling like they could ask for. And I think what we're also hearing back, though, is that people have their food needs met, and it's really other needs that they probably, I mean, basically everybody really needs their paychecks to pay their bills, to pay their mortgages. And so we're also trying to disseminate out what we know in terms of banks that are offering low or no interest loans, and the utilities that are going ahead and giving a pass on this month's bill for people, just so that they know what's out there and available for them.
I've heard some talk about gas cards.
Yes, so the local Gardner community has been amazing. And so people have, through, I'm not sure what means, but they are collecting donations, and right now at the local Conoco, people can go in and get gas cards to fill up their vehicles. And there's also another effort that I just learned about where there's one organization that's taking in money, and they're using it for those cards, they're using it for the Gardner Market, and they also have some funds available if people need help with their rent, help with bills of various kind.
And tell me a little bit about the daycare center.
So our local daycare center primarily serves federal employees. And so with so many people being out of work right now, they've pulled their kids out of daycare, and that's having really it's causing difficulties for the staff. They've had to go to part-time hours, and they don't make a lot to begin with. So when you don't make a lot and you're suddenly cut to part-time, then I'm not sure how they're able to pay their bills, and I know that that is concerning them. I've reached out. They seem like they're good on their food. They've connected up with food resources or had food to begin with, but a lot of them are wondering how they're going to pay like their student loans, for instance, and I know that's concerning them.
As we go farther out with this, if it would go another month, for instance, do things just get worse and worse and worse all the time?
I think yes. I think that I'm starting to see that amongst kind of friends and coworkers, that morale just keeps dropping. I just was reading something that a friend wrote where they spent the day in tears a couple days ago just because they were having such a hard time coming to terms with not being able to go to work to do the job that they love. And I think that there's a lot of people that feel a little untethered and kind of without a purpose, without a schedule, and I think that's really starting to get to people.
All right. Okay, thank you.